me share screen. Okay, so yeah, so let's start. So hopefully this week we should be able to finish Pandas study. And also don't forget Friday we will have the exam. So today the first one, it's most of the material today probably going to be review, okay? And we also have here and there some new business for the Pandas. So this is from the note 501, okay, if you take a look. So in Pandas, we already know is it two data structures, series and data frame. And series is for one-dimensional array like, okay, and data frame is mostly for two-dimensional. And hold on, let's admit. And so for a series, you can create a series with plug in some sequence. Hold on, let's get, I need to view and then admit. Okay, and so we are already kind of familiar with this, how to create a series, is it? And you can take a look what the series is it? So you just get the series. And you can also just get its value and get its index, is it? And so not, so all of this are not new, okay? And the next one, it also shows you can, and the first one shows when you create a series, you didn't specify index, is it? Then we already know by default, is it? So this is index, it's used, it's at range index, the by default one. And the nice thing for Pandas is you can use label for both index and column. Here for series, you can specify the index. Is it? So in this example, so this part is going to be value, is it? And this part is going to be label index. There's a label index. And if we take a look, you can see the result. Is it? So index is changed. Is it? And once you have the label index, hold on, we need to admit. So once you have the label index, is it, then you can use the index to extract some single item. So we call it indexing, is it, or a list of items. So both of these two cases are called indexing, is it? And we also learn you can also slicing for a range of items. Okay, so nothing new here. And we also learned, is it, for Pandas, you can also, it says, use NumPy functions or NumPy-like operations, is it, to do something for like a series. So in that, hold on, I needed to admit and annotation. And so over here, what it shows is do filtering, is it? So just filter out all of the positive values, is it? And also over here, it also shows for NumPy functions. So this is exponential, is it, operation on the series. Okay, so then it gives you the result. And you can also check if certain item, is it, in the series. It says you can think about series as an ordered dictionary, is it? So you can use this in to do membership checking, okay? So anyway, so that's what that part shows. And then next, let's see some more examples, okay? So over here, what we have is So this S data is what? This is a dictionary, Python dictionary, as we learned. And you can also plug in dictionary with series, is it? And then what? Then the key will serve as index, and the value will serve as the value part of the series. Okay, so that's is also quite helpful for a lot of time. Okay, so just imagine for dictionary, then the key part will automatically go to the label indexing. Key go to label index. Okay. Okay, so that's that example. And over here, what it's trying to show, it's the same. You can also, you see over here, it has S data, is it? And then it says, okay, index is going to be, you can also pass a list as index, is it? Then it just use that as indexing. So just different ways, okay, different approaches you can deal with some series. You can also check if there is no objects within that series, is it, and you want to find where it is it? So over, you can call is not either way. And you can also do some join operation. Just use the plus operation. Is it? Use a plus operation, and over here it's object 3, object 4. And some of the information like California, as it shows, and Utah, this 2 in the other one doesn't exist, doesn't have value part. Then it will just fail with net, okay, when you do the join operation. Okay, and what next one try to show object 4. Let's first take a look at what object 4 is. Object 4, okay, this is object 4. This is our object 4. So Texas, Ohio, Oregon, and California. Okay, that's object 4. And their population. Object 4. And then here it says object 4. It's a dot name. Okay, so basically it's kind of gives this series a name. Is that it's called population. This is what this object you kind of, and the object 4 itself, that's a variable, is it? That's a variable. And here you kind of give this series. So this is the name for the series. You can also do that, okay? And also what next line should be careful, it said dot index and then name. So you can also give this index part. So this is the index. Is it index part a name? And previously, if you recall, for data frame, we do that a lot. Is it for the of the rows and of the columns, we give them name. Is it sometimes we also have multi-level index? Is it we also give them name? Level 1 name, level 2 name, if you recall. Is it? So here, this also applies to series, of course. Is it? So you can also give series the indexing label part a name. Is it? So then you just do index.name. Okay. And what next one try to show is for the object, and then you can specify, is it? So you can also, is that can be changed in place, is it? With its index. Okay, the index can also be changed. Okay, so this is just some series, so quite straightforward. A couple of new things. And next, let's take a look. And this time, what we are going to see is about data frame, I believe. So here, this is Python's dictionary, is it? So this is dictionary. and all this part are key. And the values, it's list, that they are list. Okay, and if you plug in this to Pandas data frame, is it? This is what we get. Is it what we get? Okay, so all of the key will go to column, is it? And because your value part is a list, so you will have the rows. Okay, you have the rows. And the index, because over here we didn't specify index, so it will just go with the default index. Okay. And we can also do here, it shows, is it? For data frame, you use the data, you can also specify the column. Is it pass in the column name? So this is the way you can name column. And over here, let's see. Okay, still on the original data, is it? Here is specify column, is it? And the column, and it also specify index. So both column and index are specified. Hold on. So both of them are specified, is it? And if you recall this column in our previous discussion for the dictionary part, we doesn't have this column. So then what it's going to do? Okay, so you will see what it has is just some default values. Is it? So the data part, it doesn't exist in the previous provided data. Is it? So it's just going to be filled with all nav values. And here the index matches whatever index you provided. Okay. And it also said, okay, over here you can, so here just show you can, if you want to get a specific column out, okay, you can either specify like the column name, or you can just also call data like the column name. Okay, and this will return you like a series kind of. Okay, so it says a column can be retrieved as a series. Okay, as a series. Okay, and row is that row can also be retrieved by either position or name. Is it with the loc? Is it with the loc? Previously, we also saw that. Is it? And with the loc, you can specify what? The name of the label. Is it? And here it says column values, you can also change. You can also change. So here, if you do you specify the column name, is it, and you assign value, then all of it. So every row, is it, with that column is going to be changed to that value. Okay. And you can also reassign it, modify it. So here it shows, is it? So over here, what we show is just some range, is it? Numbers, and then did you see it's update the previous one? Okay, so the way to do it, you just specify the column name and then you reassign the value. Okay, so here just shows some approaches that we can adopt to modify the values. Okay, and then next, let's see what this one is. Okay, so this one is still kind of related with the previous one. So here we create a new series, is it? A new series has 3 values. So negative 1.2, negative 1.5, negative 1.7. And this is its index. Okay, 2, 4, and 5, is it? Basically, this is this series, is it? Then you said, I'm going to assign this series to a specific column. Is that to that column? And then the matching. So all of the matching index part is updated. Is it? And whatever doesn't exist, they still have that nav values. Okay. So you can, here, what it means is you can also assign a series. Okay. And it says the label then going to be realigned. Okay, exactly as data frames is indexing. And it will do the searching. Okay, because this concept, after all, it's still from dictionaries concept. So that's how it works here. And we can also kind of see data frame and the series, they heavily rely on Python's dictionary concept. Okay, and what next one try to show is over here to add another new column called Eastern. And then what it says, okay, it said if the state is Ohio or not. Is it? So what is this going to return? Either true or false. Is it? So this is a kind of filtering. Is it filtering? But you are going to assign the value to a new column called Eastern. Is it? And you can also delete a column. And whenever you want to delete a column, so you use the keyword, you can do del, okay, to delete columns. And then you can specify kind of like the column name, as dictionary. And then what next one it shows, is it? So initially it has that Eastern, is it? And if it is Ohio, is it? And it will be filled with true. Otherwise it's false, is it? And then you do delete of those Eastern, is it? So this part, this column is deleted, is it? So that's why for the result one, you don't have that column anymore, okay? So that's this concept. And next, let's see. This is also interesting, okay, that's, so you have, so this anyway is Python's dictionary, is it? And if you take a look, so this is key. And the value part is what? Is another dictionary. Is it? So it's kind of, you have nested dictionary, is it? So how data frame is going to do some conversion like this. So anyway, let's take a look. Okay, Nevada, it has 2001, 2002. Ohio, it has 2000, 2001, 2002. Then to plug in this nested dictionary, is it? So this is nested Python dictionary. Is it to the data frame? What we will get is something looks like this. Okay, so basically it has the original key part as column, is it? So key as column, as user, is it? And within the dictionary, the key serves as what? So the nested dictionary part, the key, then serves as indexing label. So they change it to indexing label. Okay, indexing label, then with Nevada, it doesn't have 2000. So it's just going to fill that value with nav. Okay. So here it just shows again, if you have nested dictionary, okay, you can also build a data frame like this. And the previous, I believe we learned this. You can also transpose, to switch row and column. Okay, after you call transpose, you switch it. Okay, then next, let's see. This time, what it's trying to show is you can also create data frame with a list of dictionary. Is it? So this is a list, and within the list, you have dictionary. So this is the first item, this is the second item. Is it? So the square is a list, and this curly bracket is a dictionary. So that's why we say it's a list of dictionary. It's a list of, and then you can use it to build a data frame. And you can give the index name and the column name. Is it? Same thing for the second data frame. So we have two data frames. So this is the first data frame. Is it? You have index and you have column. Okay, so column is A and B. Is it? So here we have A, we have B. And this C is not specified, so it's crossed out in your data frame. Okay, so the first dictionary also has A and B. Is it? So it will do the automatic matching. This will go with the first, and this will go as the second. Is it? So first has 1, 2. Is it 1 and 2 from the dictionary? And the second 5 and 10. 5 and 10 is from the second dictionary. Is it? So you can also build something like this. And for the second data frame, DF2 is the same thing. But this time it's a column is A and B1. Is it? And if you take a look, the B1, if we take a look at the original dictionary, we don't have B1 column, we have B. Is it? So that doesn't match. So that's why with this B1 column, it only has nav values. Okay, so be very careful here. Okay. And then next, let's see. Here it says it's a dictionary of series. That's interesting. It can also be passed to create a data frame. Okay, create a data frame. So then let's see. So here, this is a dictionary. Is it? So the dictionary what? The dictionary has the key. Is it? And the value part is what? The value part is a series with specified index. Is it with specified index? Okay, then let's see what the result look like. The result has 1, 2. So that's as usual. Dictionaries key go to data frames column. Is it? And the series has index. But the first one has 3 index. The second one has 4. Okay, so what will be the result index for the data frame? It's going to be a union of these 2 index. Okay, so it's going to be a union. So that's why we have A, B, C, D. Okay, A, B, C, D. And for 2, you have this number. And for 1, it doesn't have, then it's just going to be filled with that nav values. Okay. So here just shows another cases. And then what's the last one? Let's take a look here. Frame 3, okay. What is frame 3? Anyway, so what here it just shows, if you recall in note 501, we also said for series, is it series itself can have a name, and series index, you can also give the index a name, is it? For data frame, both index and name, they also can have their name attributes be set. Okay, so how do we do that? You can just explicit the index name, column name. Is it column name? And then if you want to get this data frame, did you see? So this state is a column name, and this is year is for the index name. This is kind of like in Excel, is that you can also give your column a name and then give your row a name. Is that so similar concept? So to do that, you can just specifically set index.name and the columns.name and then give it a name, okay, for the column and index. And the value parts, is it is an array like what it shows. It's just this part. Okay. Okay, so this is note 502. And then next take a look, note 503. Okay. So here we first create a series. Okay. For this series, and here is specify index is just ABC, okay, and it can show the index. So we're quite familiar with this. For data frame, you can specific set index. And over here, you set index using what? Using list, is it? Using list. And you can also do some other way, is it? And over here it says, okay, I'm going to set the labels. I'm going to use the index, is it? And this range of number. And then you can just specifically use that, assign it, is it? And also index. Okay, index should be immutability. Okay, should be immutable, okay? So because that's original from the concept like dictionary, is that dictionary key should also be immutable, okay? And what next to try to show, it also says it's not like a Python sets, because Python sets is unique, okay? Pandas index allow duplicate labels, okay, it allows. So let's see. So here is the Pandas index. It says, did you see it allows duplicate? Okay, allows duplicate. And so duplex is allowable. Another concept is called reindex. Okay, and the reindex it says create a new object. Okay, create a new object. So let's see. So here the first object is what? It's a series with this index DBAC. Is it DBAC? So it's kind of DBAC. Is it with the value of 4.5, 7.2, negative 5.3, 3.6? Is it? So that's the object. Is it this object variable? And then you said object 2. You said reindex. Is it reindex? You reindex with what? With A, B, C, D, E. Is it with A, B, C, D, E? And it's going to do the matching. Is it? So here is A. Is it? So that's why did you see A is moved to first? Because you do reindex. Is it? And the B is what? 7.2. So that's B. Okay, then C is 3.6. So now you get C. And the D is at 4 point. And the E you don't have, so it's a nav value. Okay, so over here just shows you can also use reindex to rearrange your index. Okay, and then says it's create a new object. Okay, great. And if there is any new missing thing or something, it's filled with nav values. Okay, so that's just what this part try to show. Okay, and nothing new not a lot of new thing. Okay, what next one is also going to be interesting. Okay, when we call this reindex, you can also specify the argument, keyword argument, F field. What does that mean? This means forwarding field. Forward field. Okay, so let's take a look. Because the range, you're going to have 6 numbers. There's 6 numbers. And your series here. And series here is 3, blue, purple, and yellow. Is that blue, purple, and yellow. So that's your original object 3. Is it? And then you said to reindex. Reindex, this time you're going to have 6 numbers. As it is, it's ranges between 6. And it's what? The method is forward field. Is it a forward field? And the reindex with the range of 6. So the result, if you take a look, you will find the reindex is between 0 to 5. Is it? Versus over here, oh, here it's index, it's 0 to 4. Is it 0 to 4? Is it? That's the original index. You don't have 1 and 3 and 5. Is it? So when you recreate the index with 6 index, how am I going to deal with those missing ones? And here you can specify, because if you don't specify, it will automatically fill with what? With the nav values. Is it? And here you said, okay, I'm going to do forward field. Forward field, so because over here you also have 1. So it's going to use the previous one. Is it? To forward field. And then for 2, okay, it's purple. Then for 3, I'm still going to use purple. Is it? And the 4 is yellow, and the 5, I'm going to continue to use the yellow. So this is for forward field, okay, the idea. Okay, so that's regarding you specify or you don't specify, is it? Because in this case, when you call the reindex, you have this extra, is it? And you didn't specify the method for field, so that's why it's just a field by default, is it? With that nav value, is it? But sometimes you may want to use some other values to do fielding, is it? Then you can specify. So here, F field means a forward field. Okay, so it will carry over the previous values and to fill whatever the missing part is. Okay, so that's the concept about filling some missing numbers, okay. And then next, let's take a look more regarding index, okay. So here we have frame. Frame, you can clearly see it's 3 by 3, okay. A data frame, is it? And index is ACD. Column is Ohio, Texas, and California. Is it Ohio, Texas, California? And the ACD, A, C, and D. Is it? So that's original frame. And the frame 2 is that it's reindex. It also add B. Is it? Besides the existing ACD. This is new. Is it new for the label part? So you can see to do that, it's just all filled with nav. Is it all filled with nav? Okay, so that's regarding you specify reindex. And next, let's see. Over here, I have a state, Texas, Utah, and California. Initially, you have Texas, have California, is it? So this 2 column I have. And here, Texas, California, but I, for some reason, also want to add Utah, is it? And you can also do reindex. You can also specify with new column, is it? You can, on one hand, you can do reindex with rows. For the column, you can also do the reindex. Okay, so you maybe sometimes you just want to rearrange the order, or you may have some new columns you want to add. Then in this case, you can do something like this and remove some part. It's like Ohio is gone, is it? Then in this case, you can clearly see, is it? Yeah, so it's going to have Texas, Utah, and California, is it? But also be careful, okay? So here for comparison, this is for reindex, is it? With the Utah added. Utah doesn't exist in the original. This is the original. Then you have all as net, is it? But like previously we said, reindex. Okay, this method generate a new data frame. So it's not on the original data frame. Is it? So that's why when you do frame, it's still the old one. Is it? So this is the original one. This is a new one. Is it? If you do one, unless you do the assignment, is it? Yeah, so anyway, so reindex generate a new one with whatever the index or column you specify, okay, and try to find data from the original data frame. And maybe you can also specify something, is it? How to fill. So over here, a lot of time when you get some data frame, you may need to do some manipulation, is it? Then this is also one of the technique we can borrow, okay? And what next one try to show is, we can also, yeah, so what over here is try to show, what over here try to show, just do some retrieving, is it? Using that dot lock. Previously, we already learned, is it? So over here, is it? This is a brackets, and then comma, and the states, basically, it's also a brackets, is it? Then in this case, it's called indexing. And because it's data frame, so it's kind of like a pair indexing, is it? So pair means row column. Is it row column? Okay, so it's going to take A, B, C, D. Is it A, B, C, D? And it's going to take the states. So we can take a look what the states. Okay, you see states is also a list. Is it? So it has Texas, Utah, and California. Is it? Texas, Utah, and California. Is it? From that frame, I wanted to get specific rows and specific columns. Is it? And both cross sectioned items. Okay, then you can. And over here, this is also a list. Is it? So whenever you call the dot lock, if you have a list, another list, is it? This means indexing, okay? So indexing always retrieve certain item, is it? And the opposite to this is called slicing. It's you specify a range of item, okay? Okay, so I think today we just stop here, okay? Stop here. And then Wednesday, we should be able to finish this chapter. And Friday, you will have your exam, okay? And if you don't have any question, I'm going to see you all on Wednesday. So bye.